Welcome to the next video in the series Photoshop CS5 for architecture students. Now in this video we're going to save off our presentation in preparation for printing and distribution. Now what we're going to do first is actually going to save it in its native Photoshop format. I'm going to call it perhaps by a more appropriate title, presentation 1.pst, save, maximize compatibility, okay, there we go, and it's loaded it up in there. So when we save it as a Photoshop file, it retains all of the layer structure and so on, and it also maintains all of our selection savings and so on. So if we want to actually save this as a smaller file that we can email or include in a PowerPoint presentation, we could probably save it as a JPEG. Now if we go File, Save As, and we select the JPEG option, you notice that it comes up with the warning that the file must be saved as a copy with this selection. Now I'm presuming that we've done everything we need to on this presentation for now, and that I'm happy to sort of have it all compressed into the one layer. So I'm just going to save that as a JPEG, File, Save, do to maximum compression so I don't get any loss of image quality, go OK, then I can open that file through Photoshop, presentation 1, JPEG, there it is, and you can see it's brought it all into the one layer. Now often we'll ask for material to be saved off as a .pdf format, and also we recommend printing to the large printers as a .pdf format document. Now a common thing that we see people doing is that to generate the PDF they come up here, they go File, Save As, and they try and save it as a PDF. Sorry, I'm going to go back to my Photoshop file so I can see all of my layer structure. So we go File, Save As, and there is an option through here, Photoshop PDF. So if we select that option, you can see the file format's the same, it's a .pdf. So if we go File, Save, we'll just let OK through that. The preset is for a high quality print, which is but that's what we want. But you see the standard options through here preserve the Photoshop editing capabilities. So it's actually going to embed a lot of that native Photoshop file format. So when we save the PDF, just go OK. When it's saved it, you can see here it's loaded it back up into the window there. We've got all of our file formatting still preserved in that file, even though it can be opened by Adobe Acrobat. Now for most people, all intents and purposes, it's the same file, but when it comes to printing, the way that it unpackages the information for printing is different if we to other more simple PDF file formats. Now if we want to save it as a nice compact PDF, one that will print with just as good a quality but with a much faster throughput on the printers, what we want to do is we actually want to print to PDF. So instead of saving it as, so let's open up our presentation. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to print to PDF. So File, Print, and here we go. We're going to pull down our printer, PDF Creator. We're going to check the print settings. Layout is landscape. Paper quality, just look in the advanced settings, A3. It's all OK. OK. Now make sure that the scaling is kept at 100%. Don't hit this scale to fit media, because otherwise we could lose the scaling of our drawings. So now that we've got that all set up, I'm going to hit print. So in the PDF Creator, it's asking us for a name. So I'm going to call it Presentation for Printing. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Save that off. And voila. Here we see the PDF file that it's been generated. Just going to close that off. Now I'm going to open up the Windows Explorer navigation window just to see the impact on the file sizes of the various files that we have just saved off. Now you can see here the Presentation 1, the native Photoshop file format. It's the biggest of the lot, so it contains all of the layer information. It's fully editable, and but it is only openable by Photoshop itself. So it's handy for us as the sort of source file, but to print from it, it's rather large, and also if we go out to a bureau or something, they may not print out from Photoshop. So the second file format that we saved, the JPEG, you can see it's quite a compact file format. It's a good size for emailing, fairly universal file format, and a good size to include in our PowerPoint presentations. Now, the Presentation 1 PDF that we saved from the Photoshop file, now that's quite a large file. It's almost as big as the Photoshop file itself. Now, although it's openable by Adobe Acrobat, it's retained so much of the information from the Photoshop file that if we go to print that through the network printers, the way it unpacks the information for the print makes it run very slowly, and sometimes can create problems with memory losses in the printer, and we get lots of errors. So it's a good idea to make sure that you print to PDF rather than save as PDF when you're sending things to print, because you can see here our presentation for printing is quite a nice compact file size, only 855 KB as opposed to 9900. So this will go through the printer rather easily, less chance for errors, and the print quality, to be honest, between Presentation 1 and Presentation for Printing will be negligible. You wouldn't be able to tell them apart. So just a tip when it comes to portfolio time and everyone's trying to print at the same time, if we keep our file formats nice and compact, then we won't get strife with a lot of people trying to send excessively large files. So let's go back to our presentation. Now that's the end of this video. Now there'll be a few videos to follow through after this, so stick around and hopefully we'll see you for the next installments.